I would like to welcome everyone watching. Today we will see this screen for the end of the show. We've been having all the action. So this is going to be quite interesting as we do this one. There's numerous reasons why we're willing to do it. One of them is to promote us to have things review and go overview. As you see here, um, there's further download that kind of presence presented. There's also AI, moving from size, all these images, rolling stones all around. Started ground, engine bridge racing, two rockets flooring hastily, putting Pleasant Street Tennis, bowling or bowling. Aspect, winery, is a Canada travel, one area of facility, cutting edge. Very involved sports, two rounds with spikes. We also have very minutes working with three, one from jump hook, great there's also the jungle gym, critical, two movie passes, great directing jerk, Jack, James Barton Grill, Big Belly, Smith, and Jack. We are definitely hoping to bring a good solid amount of money, and I will add we would be more delighted for you to, of course, join and with the say, that we are issuing to accomplish is without a doubt a minimum of $20 over the item that you simply send us your details along with how much you're willing to give for. And within this episode of Community Show, along with the others, we will see what we call locally we introduce a subject which subject of conversation, artificial intelligence. You got notice how artificial intelligence is important. The discussion panel will be noted a link to it momentarily. And as my colleague Joe here, we want to bring it where people will be glad, where people will be very confident and will be encouraged. We really believe it is important to and would show as well. The guest, of course, the host herself is Andrew. There also will be myself, Robert Morrison. We will Osborne, Sarah Jervis, Meredith Joe Richard, when of course if we were looking up financial advisor, Steve Bank. We're quite looking forward to the show because it makes it interesting. Bonjour, Madame Policier. And you said that. Et lorsque nous faisons de l'émission, alors il y a toujours une partie où est-ce que nous parlons en français. Donc, depuis que l'avènement, il y a, bon, 30 jours de ça, de la première épisode, donc, de ça, ou plus je devrais dire, de la première émission qui avait été tournée vis-à-vis de Québec, on a vraiment décidé de mettre la main sur toute une différence. Et j'aimerais vous dire tout simplement extraordinaire de travailler avec les gens. Alors, au début, lors de la première épisode de Québec, moi, je voulais vous parler de quelque chose de très important. Nous étions au Québec cette fois, vraiment, une émission
Yes.
qui relie donc
Just the
Québec.
laptop should do it?
Alors, quand je dis que l'émission, c'était donc une épisode. Donc,
Yeah.
allons-y.
Oh wait, this is a different mechanism. 1 second.
Vous avez
Where's the
bien
speaker
remarqué
thingy?
que nos fournisseurs sont
I don't know. Just 1
alors,
second.
so Joe, I'm doing a little part in here while you're getting ready. It's called the Easter Québec in French. Donc, pour la première émission, je vous dirais qu'il y a des détails qui sont tellement importants. On voulait vous parler d'un détail pour commencer. Comment je vous dirais ça? L'intelligence artificielle. N'est-ce pas? L'intelligence artificielle. L'intelligence artificielle, c'est certain que ça amène beaucoup de questions, ça devrait amener des questions. Ce que l'on va faire avec l'intelligence artificielle, on veut changer certaines choses. On veut pouvoir encourager les gens à ne pas avoir peur. Donc, lors des futures émissions ici au Québec, je vais avoir la chance énormément de pouvoir vous en parler plus. Moi, j'aimerais vous dire, euh, donc, le plus important pour commencer que l'on va faire, ça va être de pouvoir, donc amener aux gens, des bonnes informations. Avoir peur de l'intelligence artificielle, est-ce que ce serait une bonne idée? Non, ce ne serait pas une bonne idée. L'intelligence artificielle peut venir aider, elle peut venir faire une différence. Alors, c'est en plein ça qu'on veut faire présentement, faire une différence. Pourquoi et comment? Parce que l'intelligence artificielle, c'est vraiment fait pour amener un ajout. Que ce soit dans le domaine manufacturier, que ce soit dans le domaine donc de la construction, mais voici. L'ajout, on s'entend que c'est vraiment aller vers où est-ce que on pourrait appliquer l'intelligence artificielle dans un bon sens. Parce que quand on vient pour donc utiliser, lorsqu'il y a par exemple et que les pompiers peuvent être dans une situation très précaire, est-ce que l'intelligence artificielle pourrait t'aider? C'est certain qu'elle pourrait t'aider. Pourquoi elle pourrait aider? Parce qu'elle va venir faire une différence. Elle va venir aider grandement. Ensuite, lorsque des travaux en construction nécessitent de travailler, par exemple, dans des chaleurs qui sont vraiment très difficiles à gérer, l'intelligence artificielle pourrait être un ajout pour faire en sorte que les gens puissent justement être mis plus dans une situation où ils ont moins chaud et que le robot puisse accomplir, parce que les robots n'ont pas comme nous de la chaleur, etc. Donc, la personne serait mise dans quelque chose pour justement pouvoir contrôler, manipuler le robot en question pour aider. Ensuite de ça, ben, même récemment, quelqu'un qui me disait, de par qu'est-ce qu'ils font, eux, ils ont décidé que l'intelligence artificielle servirait à faire un nettoyage de cancer. Donc, la madame est allée se faire diagnostiquer. Elle était tellement contente parce que quand elle est allée, à sa grande surprise, ça s'est produit. Donc, à sa grande surprise, ça a fonctionné. Non seulement ça a fonctionné, elle a été guérie, mais ils se sont rendus compte que le robot en question était dans des conditions qui n'étaient pas nécessairement faciles de par le cancer, mais qui a réussi parce qu'il était dans cet état-là. Alors, est-ce que je peux vous dire que ça peut être vraiment des études qui peuvent être extraordinaires? Donc, vraiment, aller voir dans quel secteur est-ce que les robots, est-ce que l'intelligence artificielle peut être utilisée? Et puis, je dirais, moi, ce que je propose, c'est qu'à chaque fois qu'il y ait une demande, qu'il y ait un besoin pour l'intelligence artificielle, que les gens puissent beaucoup plus dire, bon, on pense à utiliser l'intelligence artificielle dans ce secteur-là. Comment on peut développer pour faire en sorte que ça puisse fonctionner? Mais évidemment, de voir un point qui est tellement important. Le point en question, c'est de pouvoir aller dans une bonne direction. Qu'est-ce que je veux dire par là? Aller dans une bonne direction, c'est de pouvoir essayer de voir comment ça tourne, mais de s'assurer aussi que ça puisse bien tourner. Donc, où sont les limites de l'intelligence artificielle? Comment pouvons-nous réussir à contrôler l'intelligence artificielle? Quelles sont ses limites? Alors même, je vais vous dire ceci. Moi, je vous inviterai, qui que vous soyez qui va regarder la vidéo, en matière d'expertise, que diriez-vous de me contacter? Donc, sur ctv.ca, vous allez remarquer, il y a un endroit pour faire contacter. Envoyez un message disant, je suis très intéressé à faire partie de la discussion sur l'intelligence artificielle. S'il vous plaît, faites-moi signe. Parce que le plus qu'on va travailler ensemble, ben, je dirais que c'est mieux. Je vais d'ailleurs vérifier quelque chose. Nous étions censés avoir Valérie Bressette, donc, qui allait participer à l'émission, donc la partie qui est en français. Je vais vous dire que ce serait définitivement agréable de pouvoir l'avoir en ondes. C'est tellement important. Puis, donc, comme je l'ai mentionné, je désire qu'ici au Québec, il y ait une discussion pour que vraiment on puisse cerner les différents enjeux de l'intelligence artificielle. Les gens qui travaillent dans l'intelligence artificielle, comment intégrer, quels sont les cours, quels sont les comptes. Parce que si on regarde bien comme ceci, regardez, on va retourner dans les années 80, même 90. Quand l'ordinateur est venu, l'ordinateur, même la tablette, même les ordinateurs portatifs, nous ont permis de pouvoir accéder à des informations électroniques, donc un peu partout. Les tours en premier, les ordinateurs étaient pas mal tous juste des tours, jusqu'à ce qu'on décide de se mettre à manufacturer beaucoup plus les fameuses tablettes, les fameux ordinateurs portables. Mais heureusement que les manufacturiers se sont donc, où est-ce que j'étais rendu là? Je disais donc que, oui, je disais donc que où est-ce que cela pourrait être favorable et comment, évidemment, l'utiliser. Parce qu'encore une fois, même comme un de mes collègues me disait, avoir, ou pas avoir, mais oui, avoir peur, est-ce que ça servirait à quelque chose d'avoir peur de l'intelligence artificielle? Donc, les tablettes et les ordinateurs portables ont depuis les années 90, dans le fond, vraiment beaucoup plus, sont venus nous aider. Même, voyez-vous, lorsqu'il y a eu la pandémie, les gens au Québec, les étudiants se sont retrouvés, les gens se sont retrouvés face à une nouvelle situation où ils ont dû faire beaucoup d'écoles à la maison. Mais voyez-vous, si on se serait mis à avoir peur des ordinateurs portables, qui est une forme d'intelligence artificielle, mais à la place d'avoir peur, les gens se sont mis à penser, non, je n'aurais pas peur, il faut faire confiance. C'est certain qu'en quelque part, là, l'intelligence artificielle, les ordinateurs, les portables, c'est certain qu'ils vont nous aider. Mais c'est ça qui est extraordinaire. Donc, je voulais vous remercier énormément donc, pour cette partie ici au Québec. Et je vais vous dire qu'on a l'intention pour les prochaines émissions, d'avoir encore plus de matériel. Donc, aujourd'hui, on ouvre vraiment la conversation sur l'intelligence artificielle. Et pendant que j'y pense, je voulais vous dire, ici au Québec, on veut pouvoir faire sourire les gens. Et je voudrais vous mentionner, vous allez voir en bas de l'écran, quelque chose qui est très, très, très important. Est-ce que vous voyez Léveillé.livevantage.com? Je vous explique. Prenez le temps d'aller voir ce site Internet-là, parce que tout ce qui est relié vers la santé, ça peut énormément vous aider. Moi, je vous souhaite de tout cœur d'aller voir le site. Je vous souhaite de tout cœur de voir, procurer des produits. Donc, ce sont tous des produits qui aident énormément la santé. Maintenant, ce que je vais faire, comme vous avez pu avoir remarqué, dans la fiche que nous avons, on voit en direct Halifax en Nouvelle-Écosse. Je vais vous permettre de pouvoir voir cette image-là plus. Alors, demeurez les nôtres pour The End Edward Show. Et vous irez voir steveleveillé.livevantage.com. Merci.
Emergency payments, I forget if you guys will come touch. It's just leaving now. They introduced Joe to my friend Joe. Can you do this without speak?
Well, I mean, we're doing them anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need that. But we'll let him. If it works, if he can figure out how to make his own stuff work, then whatever. If you want to cut him off, we'll do that too. I don't think we need to do that.
She told me I said I like you suggested that. I came up today and he said we have no right to say that.
Do you want to just cut him off?
Yeah.
Maybe that's not smart though. It's not
No.
necessary.
No.
Cut him off after, maybe after the event. Because we'll need him hooked up. I'm going to record it on my own anyway. But we might need his help eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm not really going to respond to him anymore.
No. He
So
was
I
very
told him
nice.
the last thing I said was FFS, which means for fuck's sake, as in like, what the hell are you doing? So he knows I'm bad. But we need to focus on the now. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just gonna clean my.
Yes, it's
Good. Want another one? Eat two. You gotta eat, Joe.
I had bowl soup, and I had some fries, and I just rubbed.
Okay. This is Joe, my friend Joe. This is Roberta.
Hi, Joe.
Seasoned dry hops.
Oh, because he called me and I called him back and he didn't answer.
Here, honey, I'll take
Do you need Steve and Benson?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Get another Steve though. That's why.
Oh, no, yeah. Steve and
Yeah, Steve and Benson. Yeah.
So can I put this for a minute? So everything's clean. I phone them, and I have to bring out the grand spring.
Grand Spring. Okay, which is
Maybe 2 weeks in a car.
so that's one round and 9, 2 rounds and 9.
Eagle Crest.
Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum.
The Rangers plays at Grand Spring, no more than 150.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
I'm fine with whatever.
Okay, so that doesn't do math in my head. Let's balance those two.
Okay.
Yeah, we're checking it. Oh, no, it's just my
Of course. Just give me a couple minutes.
Yeah, I know you did.
yeah.
And you said it was.
Are we up here?
Yeah, you can be up here and then here. We're hoping for a lot of people. Oh my God. A lot.
So it's the podcast that you're recording live.
She's checking to make sure nobody outbids her. My brother just outbid me on the Pleasant Street Diner.
Get certificate.
Oh, that's all we used to wear.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yes, that's what's, makes a difference in people's lives.
Oh, you want to
Greenwood is, that's your exhibition park street, and it's right down there, it's not very far. I just have to follow your name and. This is what we're. No, here, it's a window, here. Where do you do things here?
Yes, it is a mess.
So when you cook it, so that means you do it the other way. One time.
I mean,
Yeah. And I'll look my hats with the winner, and you'll have no problem with the just one way. That'd be great. Yes, we have there. I'll get to it.
So, are you guys sitting up here? This is really bad. We can't sit up here. This is really, or you're kind of bad. Okay, I put it in anyway. Yep. This is really bad. But for the moment, the show starts in 10 minutes. So, for the moment, again, we're just trying to get. I didn't even know you must be Wisconsin. What's your first name?
My associate.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Where do you work for?
I work for Parlant.
Awesome. Welcome. I mean, you're right. I mean, what is part of it?
I guess so.
I'm sorry, it's a discussion, but
That's all it is.
I mean, like, would you like to be? Okay. Well, that would be great. But we need to be working together here, as we can't be like dictating.
Well, I don't function like that.
Oh, you do? Well, that's good. Okay. But, yeah, I'm the co-organizer. But I'm relatively new and not everybody knows who I am. But Ann and I have been working tirelessly to put this thing together for the last little while. So we just appreciate communication on those decisions.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's hard. It is, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, some lives are harder than others, my darling.
I think
That's true, though, right?
Yeah. No.
It's true. Is that this year?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
It's just on the street, find buckets on the street, and thank you. He needs papers and stuff, and then
All this stuff is
Really? Well, I thought it was gonna be like a podcast, like a private recording, like
good stuff.
Yeah.
But you want to
it is really fun. It's not like me.
There.
Here we go. My colleague.
Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Good to meet you. Okay, thank you. And we can do email transfer and we'll have attached.
So we have
And then
5 or 6 panel members.
have
So I might be pulling this out this way a little bit, adding this here. Yeah, that's why I didn't want this. But that's okay. We're not quite set up yet. We don't mind. I hate to do that, but I'm just trying to set this up.
$40.
I hope you don't take it personally. No? Good.
Got
We
it.
have 5-10 minutes and then we're supposed to start.
Another chair.
Yeah.
Then we got a short time before we gotta get things moving.
You want us to just over this way?
So we're getting close to, so I'm just trying to get
Yeah,
all
I'll
of
move
the stuff, the empty plates and stuff away.
Could you put my computer somewhere?
Where would you like it?
Probably.
I'm gonna move this table over here for the panel, and you and I can have this table,
Okay.
and then everyone else can sit here. But I need to do it now.
Yes.
As in, like, we don't have a lot of time. So yeah, why don't we can put your laptop somewhere else for the moment. I'll just put it right on this table for now. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Great. See what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of time. We're not quite ready yet. So time is of the essence sometimes. Yes. And the person you'd need to ask about joining the panel discussion would be Anne.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we need to ask her, that's all I'm saying. And the second person you need to ask would actually be me. For the
I
record.
don't need to join the panel. I can
But
sit down and-
maybe Anne wants us to. As in, maybe she thinks it's a good idea. But this is her thing, so I'm trying to be respectful.
Okay, sure.
But if you work for Coverdale, awesome.
Busy? Sounds good.
Because I was kind of hoping we would have like your perspective.
Oh, sure. I will chat with Ian then.
Yeah, I just need to fix it up so it looks. Yeah, thank you. We're not running behind, but yes, maybe we are.
Yes. Joe,
Yeah.
Sarah, you've got to speak for us.
Sure. We have a bigger, better version. Thank you so much for bringing this up. We actually might use. I'm just in the middle of trying to fix some things before we get started. But as far as that goes, thank you so much for bringing it, my friend. That is much appreciated.
I didn't get a ticket.
I'm going to ask you if we can get off this thing. I'm trying to get things going. And this is not helpful. I'm just. I have exactly 3 or 4 minutes before we're supposed to start.
Can I help you with something?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. What would you like?
So I was thinking that we don't need these chairs because the panel can just either sit
on
this
the other
way,
side?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have this table for the moderators, which
Yeah.
is Anne and myself. Kind of perfect. So we can move these chairs out of the way and push these forward, like just like this. Seems like it might be good.
Yeah.
The other option would be to do it the opposite way, move the chairs behind, but
I think if we move them out of the way, that's probably best.
easier, faster. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for your help.
No problem.
Much appreciated.
I'll just leave my stuff
I
out.
think even if you create a smart one,
I guess so.
It's got to be something.
I'm not going to do that. Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that was great.
Okay.
I also need to cheer my guitar. Yeah, it's recommended, although I think it's pretty close.
Oh, and they'll beat them.
I did get a ticket.
So yeah, I would say
everyone
don't
on
even-
this side then?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna be like we only have a couple mics, so we'll be like passing them between you guys.
Yeah.
So if you're all kind of close-ish together, that would be great.
Oh, perfect.
And your first name one more time?
McKinley.
McKinley. Nice.
Yeah.
So Anne, McKinley has offered, if we are good with it, as a younger member of Coverdale, to be part of the panel. Would you like that?
Yes, please.
Wicked. Awesome. That's
Yes.
great. So we
If
need
you
one
could just
more.
write down your name.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, take a ticket, and you gotta. I'll put it in the bucket for you.
That's
Did you
fantastic.
get a ticket?
I did get a ticket.
Did you?
All right. And yeah, apologies. I'm just trying to do 1,000 things at
Yeah,
once. And
no
there's
worries at
there's
all.
a timeline, and I don't.
I spent a lot of time.
It is what it is. I guess. It's a lot of That's okay. We had some tech issues that really weren't shouldn't have been tech issues, but our tech guy messed them up, which is kind of ironic. So that was a little bit of a wrench.
If there's anything we can help with, let me know.
Thank you very much. How long did you cover it out?
Just over a year.
Nice. And did you do your university graduate?
I did my undergrad in Ontario, and I'm in law school at Salem.
That's a perfect little. It's not quite volunteer, but it's like great in your field, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What kind of general law? Nice. And you're currently a law student as well?
Yeah.
God, you're being busy.
Yeah.
That's quite the schedule.
It's fun. It's good.
That's awesome. Well, if you love what you do, it's not really work, right?
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it too.
No. There is and we also
I don't know if
have
people are passionate about
Caesar
World.
chestnut. That's
I'm gonna
11.95.
start playing some instrumental stuff.
Okay.
Check.
Sure. We have served on a French brioche bun, lots of Caesar salad, whatever you want for 18.95. Tolerable.
Yeah, where would you like me to write?
I'll have to get some pictures.
Have a big time.
Check, check. Is that better?
Yes,
Maybe a
it's
little
good.
louder?
This would be fun. It's a boat tour. You'll see the puffins. You can try it.
Oh,
For you? Alright. It's gonna get louder when.
150. Go out to the tour. Probably that loud. You can see
You
the
want to Megadeth? Pantera?
Do you want me to write my goal as well?
Yes.
that was pretty.
Put up just for the guitar.
I got bench down there. I'll go
I
there.
can grab one.
Okay.
What's that?
Well, I was checking for the guitar.
You're assaulting me. I'm assaulting you. That's what I am.
For the,
A little bit more?
So I love covering that golf, Roberta. Very well. Yeah. We'll be busy.
Let's put it over the summer.
Yeah. My friend Nancy, they're building out.
Yeah, here, Steve.
Very good.
you're not getting, you're gonna go to the Philippines. You're like this.
How was it, guys?
I know, no, I appreciate that.
So, dear CTV fans, as you know, we have associates journalists within different parts of the country. At your lower left is the only Steve Benton. He's the financial advisor. Decided to make this screen this way so you can see him better. Uh, we're going to, of course, present him within the show. And welcome to Steve. I'm going to make sure I turn on the microphone.
Good to
I'm
be here.
very pleased to see you, Steve.
Great to see
Very
you
good,
too,
very
Steve. Great.
good. So, fantastic. I'm glad that you're there. So, I'm going to bring Anne back because she has Joe right now playing guitar so we can hear him and he can be part of the show. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, because last time we was kind of busy, I guess.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And
Hello, and how are
would you
you?
kindly, we're a little busy and able
Hey,
to
Steve.
lock up this week.
Hey,
And,
Steve.
yes,
How you doing, dude? Miss you, buddy.
Hi,
Hello.
me
Miss,
too, me
miss,
too.
May not
miss
hear
you
him.
guys.
See him.
Miss
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys too. Miss you guys.
Steve's there.
So it's coming through here, but that's okay. I don't want to be talking.
Brothers for life.
Okay, whoa.
Okay. All right.
This is going to be an interesting show. The Ann Edwards Show with Steve Benson, Joe Legend, Ann Edwards.
Friday afternoon, traffic and stuff like that.
And to all the ones that are watching us, guess what? Yes, Ann Edwards is just about to host a show very soon, but soon. Are you in Mississauga, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Drummondville, Halifax, or New York? Peggy,
It's different.
we're wanting to let you know you could be the lucky next business to host the show.
Check, check. Okay, I think we're good, eh? Yep. As we like to say, good enough.
Oops, nothing.
There, this way we can have a great view on Steve along with South Park Street in Halifax. To the lucky ones that you will be seeing the show from in Mississauga, Ontario, we will have a beautiful view like that from where you are.
You didn't know what I told you, right? No. I just I put the coffee, but you heard about something. I got chowder. Yeah.
Alright, so that's that. And then, when I am done playing or whatever, we're going to bring me the mic. So I will grab one mic from him. Because the mic I'm singing into is a really good mic, but the other mic is more for picking up guitar. So I can swap them out. We'll have a mic and then the table's coming. Okay? So we might just play this for a few minutes because
Yeah.
we should. This is standard practice. It's a rainy day. The people aren't here, they're late.
I'd rather
You can make it enough. Okay, we're gonna start 10 minutes or something.
I'll wait.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All that. I will be with that.
Okay.
I am. It's cool. It's a damp day, so I figured I'll fix
Nice
this.
comfort food.
Exactly. Thank you. Just a little bit. Bring it. Thank you.
Have you talked to Steve Benton? And
Yes, yes, he's
Steve
there.
Benton? He's where?
Steve is in the studio now.
He's in the studio with Steve. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, he's in the
Just one
studio,
second.
yes.
I just had a different window open.
The screen is divided into four rectangles, and he's at the top right. Right over South Park.
Cool. There he is.
That's how I make mine.
Oh, here's Joe.
What's going on? Looking good, looking good, looking good.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I can. Yes,
You
I
can't
can.
hear me?
Can you Yes, I
can't
can.
hear you, but that's because my volume is turned down.
Okay.
Oh,
No, it
I can
isn't.
hear you.
okay.
It's probably
I
because I have
appreciate
everything
a lot
plugged into the
that you played some
speaker
music.
from this computer, so
No
you
problem.
won't be able to hear me. But you're good. Good. Okay. Right on. I'm just working on getting the Bluetooth connection hooked up so that we can. I think actually your audio should come out through the main PA.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it will actually.
Okay. Don't
Thank
worry about it. Don't stress out. Don't stress out about it.
Steve up.
Don't worry.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I've known Steve forever. But
I also have a backup Bluetooth speaker, so we'll figure it out. I gotta go. We're gonna start the show, so you know, we're waiting on people. It's a rainy day and whatnot, so we're gonna start it probably 10, 15 minutes or so. Okay. No sense in starting one when not too many people are here. I'll be right back.
As everyone can see, we have the chance to get to see the preparation behind the show. How is the weather within GTA area and the city?
Human nature, right?
You can hear me?
it most certainly is.
Yeah, pretty much. We should have
You
said
can hear me, Steve?
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah. We'll learn that for next time. Yeah. I got you.
Can you hear me?
can have a side conference while we wait for Friday. You can make it every week in order to have a look at this. There's 27 items.
Basically just
Oh,
chat.
well, I was there.
I've podcasted with Reese before.
No, that's.
But it's never been anything
Yeah.
like a production. But
One growing. I've been growing for that reason. I don't want to be disrespectful to him.
I think they just all
He wasn't in the last time. The other day, she was awesome. It was good for her. Get out. And then when you do podcast, you good at it. You don't have to really write anything. And people will, follow.
We got some people out getting people too. That's fine.
You all and wonder that it was so long.
Other people have problems.
I might go to the doctor for
Okay. I'm just waiting to see. I was expecting 30.
Somebody been on that interlude spa yet?
I'm sorry, pardon me?
The interlude spa is still there?
Yes, you want a bit on that?
Somebody, yep.
You out there.
Who?
You out there. That's a beautiful spa.
That's the one in Dartmouth?
It's the one in Halifax. $150 spa. Pamper yourself, Roberta.
Hmm.
You need it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. You know I would support you, man.
You always have. You always
There,
will.
yep. So I have a friend that's has cancer and I'm going to give it to her.
That's nice. There's another one.
No, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm giving you a lot of money now.
I know you have. He wants to. Oh.
This is awesome.
And now I forgot what to do my phone. You see my phone? Yes. I got my number on the book, so I remember it. Yeah. Here it is working here.
Let me do it. Very awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah. I remember. It's Friday afternoon. So a lot of people, to take some time and get the Google open for us, rather than keep going.
I gave some travel bag. And we're all sitting around, and we're all looking up the bags and saying, I live at San Luis, and Northern Beach. I love it.
It's good enough, after the state. Video always later.
Then I go to the auction first. This is the silent auction here. He doesn't know me there.
The end of the show. And the podcast is called The Ann Edwards Show, right?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
I got 1,000 for my first show, 2,000 my second show. And that's without advertising. Just saying I was expecting that older. I have my older 2,000 disorder. Yeah. For 29 years.
But I don't let you play that with me. Do I?
What's that?
I don't let you play that with me.
No. Here's a copy of the prizes.
You right on the ball, girl. You go. When we doing the next one?
August 30th. PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. And cancer. That's
PTSD. No, this one is bipolar depression and anxiety.
And then the last one.
The next one's gonna be PTSD.
Yeah, the one sorry, that Roberta did a couple weeks ago.
That was mental health 101. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very cool. How was your chatter?
awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. That's my husband. That's my husband. Oh, this is Joe. Joe, oh.
Nice to meet you.
And what's your first name?
Joe.
And then I have this, of course.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Benjamin Rich one.
You guys decide on something
The bird had the chowder.
nice, really good.
Very good.
Like a seafood chowder.
Yes.
Nice. I am partial to a good chowder for sure.
Two movies. You saw that 2 movies too fast.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And what's 2 movies too fast is that?
The time is 2 minutes too fast.
There you go.
I didn't get to my I didn't get to the next one. You can go back. I'll do it for the next one for you.
Pizza. With cheese.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't find the survey. I have some info surveys on.
Did you?
Thank you. That's it.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So where's your videographer?
She's not coming.
You know,
Steve.
we don't have anybody doing video. Okay, can we hire one? As in, like, I have a secondary cell phone instead of a camera on it.
And are you any good on pictures?
I guess so.
Well, she can do both, I suppose. Yeah,
Can you pop it up somewhere?
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. That table might be high enough that you can just kind of rest it on the table, but we were supposed to have. This is news to me. I thought we had a videographer, but what can you do? Your life kind of comes at you, and you must adapt. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so this phone is a nice camera, and it does
Do you
video.
want to like try and have as much of the space as possible?
Well, you can almost set it up right there. If you wanted to
Sure. See if I can figure it out.
put the video there.
Yeah.
I mean, the other option would be actually to do so from back here, and I could ask my friend to look at it or take, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you set it up over there.
So that we can see the panel members
Yeah.
and everything else.
That's probably a good idea.
That makes more sense.
When you're in the midst there, sister. Well, stop numbering. The last one is when you put it down here, we're going to stay up here.
Well, the gentleman said, was he in the podcast up here or not?
I'll ask you. Is he's kind of running me because my video didn't show up. She's not. Joe. Yeah. We have to go down here. They have a bunch of people down there. No, and up there.
So what are you asking?
I'm not asking, sorry, you better go.
No, I'm trying to understand what you're asking.
We moved animal, and
I would think that's really fun.
yeah.
But where Steve and Steven are calling in, is there a third channel member that's not here?
Meredith,
How many?
father, grandfather's son.
Okay, well that's an excuse, but we don't have. Okay, so we don't really need as big of a space, I guess. I'd say maybe these two guys, the ladies, can sit here, 1, 2, and then we're right here, and then we set the laptop up here for Steven and Steve. And I have 2 laptops, so you know, however you think. I'm just used to this. A bit organized. Listen, Dave.
Well, I mentioned.
Listen, you're gonna do great. 50 before. But even then, it's all gonna be podcast, so the discussion will all be out on the internet, and that'll be great.
What time is it now? When she starts.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, on the side.
Let's do 5 minutes. Oh, and one thing is, I have those are the 2 mics we're gonna be using. So it might be better for, I can just pop them out and bring them over here. And then, and then pop them back over there and bring them in. What do you want to do? Okay. I shouldn't do that. I'm just like, my extra level is done with this. It's pretty good reason. It's just like, oh well. It will be good. It's just like frustrating last year, frustrating people have to drop out, our photographer's not here, my IT guy, I had to get the IT myself for maybe, it seems like. And I've done everything. Tech-wise, setting it up, cooking it up, organizing things. These are all the donations that I drove around to get people. And now I'm just like, why did I do all this? Why did I do all these things? For what purpose? It's very difficult. But I like to believe that everything will happen for a reason. But you need to overcome those. That's my email is like 1995 from Joe with the show.
There you go.
But it's challenging.
It is.
I just feel frustrated with it. Like, many people reach out to you, this is coming down because it's a little mistake.
Yeah. It was frustrating.
We better people. I'm not wrong. It's just,
I'm good.
Sorry about the other thing, but I used to yeah, no problem. Yeah.
That's good. That's it. That's a good tea time. That's for Monday afternoon.
So since you guys are graciously here in person and being part of the team, thank you first of all. And as frustrating as other extenuating circumstances are, we have a really good discussion about your corporate stuff. And I'm glad you joined us. We clearly need it. And I only was like unsure. This is not really my. But it will be on. We're gonna do it. And the nice thing is that it's going out on the internet for people to listen to, so that helps me like not worried about whether there's a million people here or not. We got some good folks who showed up. And you just saying that makes results for the beginning. Thanks for listening. What year of law school are you in?
I'm going into my third.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're starting to do like more and more actual like law stuff. Yeah, I mean like actual
Yeah.
courtroom stuff.
But that's why it's been nice. It's
I would be very interested to hear like that process of stuff because I don't really know the type of things we work with people who are like addicted and stuff like that, like wrongly addicted or.
a little bit. It's mostly we're working with women who are
Okay, so not men at all, just
no, our
Okay.
clientele is
Yeah.
women.
right.
But then kind of blur into all
Possible
of
to book a time for Monday afternoon. I usually go off that clock for the time on Wednesday, but my organization wants me to pay doctor on Monday
I'm gonna go fetch
for
my
six
car.
people and three times.
No. Mumble. Almost there.
Oh, we'll take the 120 tea time. Oh, it's just for 4 people? No, I need it for 6. Nothing at all? No, that's I mean, we have, I would have to, what's that? Okay, do the 2 tea times, then like so your 120 and your 125 is booked. So if I take 120, I can't get my other bunch out at 125, I put in, I booked it already. And the 220, is that the same way? Okay, I guess we ain't playing it Indian like, okay, thank you. One go. Why would you leave so long?
you can usually get them like at
Make tea time for 2 people. Let's see if it's up to that. Let's see if place on yours up, but. Closer? Yeah. Right there.
everyone who has never called before.
Exactly. So it's not trouble.
It seems like I have to
Right? No, no.
Cookies are coming right up.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna put this coffee over here.
thank you.
That's good. That's I just like everybody from playing this same problem.
Maybe it's because
Yay! Awesome.
that is bad.
Right. Yep. I'm making a bit of example.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
good.
I'll do this. Give me 1 second for that. He said he told like 30 minutes ago that everything was perfect. And then he just started. So let me just check.
Okay.
There was another one. I saw
We're starting to met everybody. We're late.
No, they're late.
So many people have to get on the
Ready to get rid of these?
I can hear.
Liz, you know you can get out of the computer if you want.
I already did.
She loves to watch it.
I didn't know I was gonna interrupt earlier. She's a good customer. For every Wednesday night and every Friday afternoon.
Nice.
That's so great.
Yeah, they're awesome. Really good.
Like the boots.
Yeah.
Liz, I love the boots, girl.
I know it's fun.
Oh, they're rocking.
It's like a party on my feet.
Oh, it's fun.
You can get them too the next one of these that Ann does. My brother's John David shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna give her a gift certificate for her store.
Wicked. Awesome.
Yeah. It's
John David.
75 years on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah. Is your brother? My brother. Baby brother. I wouldn't have this if my brother was our nephew. He did all the paperwork and all the people that are not great paperwork. Setting up with the bank to see the bank manager.
Amen.
This is amazing. That's half the battle.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna talk now, but I'm also not talking to
I
the.
can hear you well. I can hear you well. I can hear you well, Joe.
So this laptop that's here, what's this for?
Just for you guys.
All right, everybody.
Hello, Warren.
Thanks for your patience. I hope you got
And it's
some
not off.
delicious
Okay.
this wonderful place.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Sounds like you're getting there.
Are hosting this, and we have some wonderful panel members here, and some that are phoning in through the Zoom. They're zooming in here in spirit and through the internet. So we're gonna get started here in a moment. Actually, this is a twofold thing. Just double checking. This whole thing is going to be podcast over the internet as well, which is pretty exciting. And we were just making sure that our IT guy, Steve Lavalier is his name, can hear everything. And so I'm going to run back the laptop and just confirm that. I'm going to pass it over to Ann here and show it going. Your name's not Santa. Anna Montana.
Anna Fana.
Govena.
Gobana.
Benina Momena. Okay, here you go.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Before you know it, I forget the rest. I'm so glad we had this time together, just
Yes.
to have a laugh and song. Since we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time to have to say
Okay. Well, thank you so
so.
much. That's appreciated. Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start out with you singing.
Okay.
This is Golden here. I met Joe on Facebook. I met him on Instagram. I met him through a friend, Steve Lavier.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Others did it.
Steve Lavier.
Benson.
Steve Benson.
Thank you.
Steve Benson. I liked him since Golden year. He stayed with me on this event. He's been tirelessly helping me, and I appreciate everything that he's done for the interview show and mental health. I'd like to introduce Joe Legier.
So sweet. And she's sweetie. And she is a tireless advocate for mental health. If you have not already, you can go on to YouTube and some other places on the internet and check out the Ann Edwards show. She's been doing it for a few years now, 4 years, since 2020 or so. But yeah, so you can check that out. Here, I think we're all set up with sound check. I'll do one last one just to make sure everybody can hear me. So, yeah, I've been a singer songwriter for a long time. I'm a mental artist myself, so a lot of my music deals with that, and I guess sort of questions about life and where we belong in the universe, and why we're here, and other grand questions. So this is an older one. I wrote this when I was 24. It was scarily enough to think about it was 20 years ago. But I'm still here, and that's the most important thing. And hopefully into the future. Great. All right, here we go. Look at our world from afar. Little rock chasing us star. Time is stacking so much space to make me wonder. Knowing the space, she's a big this world. Yeah, sharp in the dark. It's the light I'm drawn. In a world set. Look up at the stars in the sky. Millions of pinpoints dance in the tide. My mind gets frozen, lost inside out, and make me wonder just where I get alone in my got me feeling so strong. And I get so complicated. I get so complicated. Overwhelmed by it all. Everyone seems so against time. in our daily life. Yes, mine, but I dream of all we know. When I know, but at least worth a shot. Gonna give it the best that I can. For yeah, you never know, never know what'll come down the road. Look at my girl from afar, just that little rocket piece of stuff. Tiny speck in so much space, makes me wonder. Oh, no, space, no, it's a human, it's not space. Stars, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So, I'm going to toss the word back in, and she's going to describe what we're going to do next. I think.
I hope.
We all hope. That's all we can do.
Actually, you can stay right there because we're going to be discussing bipolar now. I have bipolar for 29 years. I got with parallel depression, and then I ended up with depression and bipolar. And so join me on this talk. So we're going to ask some questions from the audience to get the things rolling. Is there anything that you'd like to know about bipolar that you don't understand? First of all, we'll explain the difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2.
Share the mic. If Abbott and Costello, bipolar 1. We've gone bipolar 2. That's why I'm on 1 and she's on 2, I think. But you're 2 plus.
Plus.
She's 2 plus. Whatever that means. I know what it is. So, okay, so yeah. Educational piece. Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder classified as mental health issue. It is a chemical imbalance in the brain, which is caused by a combination of certain genetical factors. I think genetic word or just genetic. Well, it should be genetic. You know what I mean. So yes, it can be brought on by different things like the drugs or the alcohol. Um, Only if you have the underlying genetic, I guess. So there's a difference. Bipolar 1, I'll start, and you can talk about bipolar 2. So bipolar 1 is characterized by depression, obviously, bipolarity, highs and lows, the two extremes, depression being the lower extreme, and mania being the upper extreme. People with bipolar 1 tend to go all the way up into space when they get manic. Space or whatever realm you see up there. So that's the difference. Bipolar 1 have way more manias, and people with bipolar 2 will get manic, but not so high, I guess. And they say 1 in every 100 people in the world roughly experiencing some type of bipolar, but bipolar 1 is much less common. It's more closer to 1%, 1%. So one in 10,000. 100. So now,
Bipolar is depression and anxiety. I suffer from depression and I'm in bed for 2 weeks. People were at the shelter where we were staying at near the bridge. They would knock on the door and they would say, "Hello, hello, is anybody in there?" And I would sheepishly say yes and go to the door and get my meal like I was in jail. I couldn't get up to shower. I couldn't watch TV. I thought I was the worst person in the world and that nobody liked me and I didn't have any friends and I didn't have a life. And it went on and on. And finally one day I got up to take a shower and they went to brought me to get my medication. I didn't think I'd have the strength to even walk across the street, let alone get dressed and be suitable to talk to people and to communicate. I struggled with bipolar with employment. I get a job, get a job, leave a job. But finally, I found my calling. I opened up a email in 2020, and it said I was nominated for the Amplified Visionary Award for Women in Atlantic Canada, selected for changing somebody's life. And it changed my life because I have a purpose now. I want to help people with mental health and addictions transition back into society. Work, employment, and housing are big issues. We're going to hear from Eric next. He's going to talk a little bit about the immigration. I struggled with depression and mania. Well, when I was married, my husband came home and there was two vehicles in the driveway. And Nicholas said, "Mom, Ann went shopping." He called me Ann, he called me Mom. I went to the local dealer in Nissan and I bought a Sierra on Monday, and by Wednesday I bought an Altima. $70,000 for the vehicle sitting in my driveway and didn't even park because they were there. So I owned 3 vehicles at the time, and I had to do something, so I went back to the dealership to explain that I was having a manic episode, and I thought I could buy the vehicles and be able to drive 3 cars at once.
We were going to do an introduction to us, and we kind of probably do that yet. Ann Edwards is here. She's, I don't know, you're trying to know Ann probably more than me. It's your show, that makes sense. But I would say that you're just like a tireless advocate for mental health. I know the long history that you're well educated, and done a long time working in television and reporting and that sort of thing. So that kind of helps your ability to become involved with these types of events. And I just want you got a story in there about mania, so I want to throw my own story in there too. We got lots of stories.
Real lives, real stories, real people.
Yeah. Real craziness.
What did you do?
I did all kinds of things, and I it's hard because, it's not something that I really ever planned on doing, of course. And basically, what happens is when you're manic, everything seems like a cool idea. Everything's interesting. Everything's wonderful. Spending money, did that a few times. I gave away $30,000 on the streets of Spring Garden once in an afternoon, in 20s and $100 bills, because people needed the money, and I had the money. Unfortunately, that money came from my line of credit. So regretted that one. But I mean, it's interesting because money is a thing that people value very extremely in society. And then when people are not well mentally health-wise, they're like, well, I don't need it. And they're right to a certain extent. Of course, it's not particularly smart financial advice to do so, but I guess the point is, from my personal perspective, is when I'm manic or bipolar, having issues with it, I want to help people. It's not like, and I don't value money in that way. And then with Ann saying about buying a lot of vehicles, I did that too. It's like everything's like, you're very present in the moment. It's like, 50 grand for that car? Sure, why not? It's nice. I need that. It's just so there's lots of crazy stories like that. But did you want to introduce me as well, just so people who know? Huh? Yes, I talked to you about it in the car. You did? Okay.
myself.
Okay, all right, that's fair. My name is Joe Legier. I very quickly will say that I moved to Halifax in 2001. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 when I was 15. Had a massive manic episode in grade 10, which was very young, and I think I pretty much became or felt like I was Jesus Christ incarnated and climbed up on a table in the library and started preaching to the whole school, which, looking back on it may not have been a wise choice, but it wasn't a choice, but it happened. And I was hospitalized directly after that and, treated and struggled over the years, like periodically I would get better and then I'd be fine. And then it would happen again, and then I'd be hospitalized, and then I'd go through a period of being okay, and over and over again. But I did come to Halifax in 2001, and I was one of the first members of a wonderful place called Lang House, which I was a member there for a number of years, and later ended up coming back to work there as a staff member, which was really cool. And through my involvement in Lang House, I became a member of the Mental Health Commission of Canada. And that was a big, huge opportunity, and I served 5 years with them. And since then, I've done all kinds of stuff mental health related. It's a passion. I think Anne has that same passion for mental health and working there and helping people. So at the end of the day, it's been an interesting road. It's been difficult, but I am happy to have that passion and work with the field. So that's me.
I was born in London, England in 1963 to Robert and Marjorie Edwards. My father was a concert pianist. Pianist. My father was a concert pianist, and he adjudicated all over the world. And he was a teacher at the local high school in St. John. So I used to be in the plays. I was in Brigadoon, Carousel, My Fair Lady, Annie Get Your Gun, Fiddler on the Roof. So I was an actress from the beginning, and I loved being the center of attention. So when it was time to decide what to do after high school, my mother sat me down and she said, "Well, you're really good at writing and you like writing stories. Why don't you become a journalist?" Okay, so I did. I went to Dal, I did my BA in English and Political Science. I did a radio broadcasting diploma and a diploma in international business and marketing. And then I came home and my mom was dancing around the living room because I was on TV. She goes, "My daughter's on TV, she's on TV." She was so excited. And it was such a good first job to get out using my degree. And then I went on to work for Dubai Institutes of Technology. I was living in Toronto by myself, engaged. I said, "You're going to get engaged before I leave or I'm not doing this." So we got engaged and I went to Toronto for 2 years. I got assistant regional manager for Eastern Canada, and I won a trip. The best trip I've ever won was a trip to Long Beach, California, and dinner on the Queen Mary. Rented a convertible and went along the coast to San Francisco for my honeymoon. And I got top sales out of 289 representatives. I came number one in the entire company. I've always done sales and marketing. I like it when they say no because I can make them say yes. I'm going to do another lunch and learn. I'm not going to give up until I have this place crowded. There needs to be more people like you come out and listen to us.
Do you want us to
We have
like
triggers.
facing you
Let's
guys?
talk about triggers.
Triggers. Okay. What do you
I'm
got?
on the phone and I've been waiting with Revenue Canada for 6 hours and they hang up on me. It triggers me. It makes me mad. I wasted my whole day and then they finally say, click, and you don't even get to talk to them. The best advice for resources is 211. They're excellent. You can phone and you can ask them. Sometimes they look up numbers they're not supposed to be for me because they know me so well. Joe, would you like to talk about triggers for a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Oh, the triggers are, okay, so, yes, triggers are an excellent, interesting word. I would say that they're kind of a word that's used a lot. People say, that triggers me or whatnot, but when it comes to mental health stuff, they're particularly important because I would say that probably the vast majority of things in mental health that are negative for people are related to stress. There have been studies that show that stress causes cancer. There's been studies that show that stress can cause all kinds of mental health problems. And so to me, when I think about triggers, I think about, well, everyone's a unique person, but if you're someone living with mental health issues, what are the things that really stress you out? So maybe it's your mother, and she calls you on the phone, and she's like, "What are you?" And you're like, "Oh my goodness, I just want to," that's a trigger. Because if it stresses you out, then I would say that it can exacerbate and or cause a lot of problems. So that's kind of what I think about with triggers. Could be lots of things. You want like examples?
Give us an example of a trigger for you.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the big ones for me, it's not a physical trigger so much as sleep. If I am losing sleep over time, like if I don't sleep for a whole night and I try to go through the next day, that's really bad. Or if I'm losing sleep as in like only getting a couple hours here and there every night over a week or something like that, that's a trigger for my illness. Is that an example?
Yes.
Okay, your turn. What do you got? Sounds good.
I like to talk about mania. I love mania. I love being in a manic state.
It is pretty awesome.
It is awesome. If you talk to somebody with bipolar and you ask them would they rather be depressed or have mania? Mania. 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 I'm not going to go out and buy any more vehicles because I'm poor. I was homeless in my car for 10 months. And the reason why I started this podcast is because there were resources available. You go to the place, and I had a car. Like my friend said, I never met a homeless person with a car and a cell phone. Well, I had both. So I went to try to get some help, and the resources were not there. And they were very mean to me because I was homeless. And it was very difficult time living in the car. And then I was year and a half at Near the Bridge. Near the Bridge is a shelter that Eric, if you'd like to come up, we're going to talk about Near the Bridge. Eric Johnson, Near the Bridge.
It's just called the bridge.
The Bridge. Well, I live near it. This is Eric. Introduce yourself, Eric.
Hi, my name is Eric Johnson.
Oh, nice.
I work at the bridge, and I've known Ann for what? At least
Sorry,
5 or
sorry,
6 years now. How long have we known each other for?
For 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. What do you want me to talk about?
Just
Everything?
tell me about you and what you do. And
Yeah, I worked in the field of homelessness, I guess, for the last few years, and yeah, I don't know. I could just talk forever about homelessness and mental health, and that's the biggest thing. And I think Anne brings up a good point of like some people say they've never met a homeless person with a car and a cell phone, right? And sometimes that can put people off because they think, oh, homeless people are people that were sleeping in the park across the street here. But there's so many people who could be homeless and you would never really know because they just look like you and me, right? And the same thing with mental health. Sometimes you don't know if people are struggling with their mental health because they're not standing on Spring Garden Road giving away 20s and 50s and $100 bills. They're just walking down the street, but they can be really struggling with their mental health. You can never know. And I think that's one of those things I've learned over time is that you got to treat everybody, you got to treat everybody the way you want to be treated, of course, but also you've got to treat everybody like you don't know what they're going through, and that really helps. Okay?
Well, it is, for sure. I was just going to say, like, not even to interrupt you, like, just to say, like, as far as triggers go, the biggest one is safety. So, if we're talking about losing sleep or, like, things that stress you out, the biggest thing I can possibly think of is stressing me out is, like, I don't have a home. I've got nowhere to go tonight. I don't know where I'm going to get my next meal. I don't know if I'm going to sleep in the park, someone's going to rob me. So, like, there's such a thing as the Maslow's period, or the table of the pyramid of needs, basically,
yes.
And hierarchy of needs. Thank you. The one at the very bottom, meaning like the foundational piece of that hierarchy, is safety, and that's housing for sure. But continue on. You're right.
Yeah. No. And I was just thinking the first times I met Anne, like it was like you have so many things going on. She's one of the best advocates that I've ever seen for herself, and she's one of the best people that can get a job.
Started bingo.
Yeah, she started bingo at the place where I work now, and she can get a job like nobody I've ever seen before. and she seems to have everything together, but sometimes you don't know what's going on underneath, which I think is what you're kind of alluding to here, is like sometimes we don't talk about the struggles that we're facing behind closed doors, why we don't get up, why we don't go to work that day, why we don't do what we said we we're going to do, why we don't follow through on commitments, because people are facing these battles that you don't know. And I think it's always good I think what it is, I work as a manager now. I've got a lot of staff that work with us, and I always have to extend the same kind of compassion to our staff as we do to some of the people we don't know, because there's some people we work with, because everybody's struggling, it seems like. And mental health affects the people who are housed just as much sometimes as it affects people who are unhoused. Just they might not have the triggers. Like,
there you are. You are now on the internet. We are trying our best because we don't have a videographer, but we're making it work. So your name again is, looking at the
My name is
camera?
Eric Johnson. I work at the bridge over in Dartmouth there.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
I was trying to think of anything else I was going to talk about today.
What about when somebody has a tantrum or they have an issue with another resident? How do you handle the situation without having to call the police?
That's a good question. We all know that sometimes police are important and they can help out, but a lot of times police, just by nature of their training and who they are, can escalate a situation. So we try to avoid calling the police on people, because sometimes, well, we all know too, in Nova Scotia, there's not a lot of resources for people that are going through a crisis. There's not a lot of supports there for people outside of maybe hospitalization against their will if it's that severe, but sometimes it's just like, oh, you're just having a crisis and there's nothing to do. We can take you to the cells and lock you up for a day and release you, and it's back where you came from. And
do you find there's a barrier where like people are afraid to ask for help from the police because they think they're going to get arrested?
Yes, especially people that have already been criminalized. Like they don't want to ask for help because, you know, the mobile mental health crisis team might show up with the police and
100%.
there might be a warrant out for them. They don't want to reach out for that. And so at the bridge, we really try to avoid calling the police when we need to, because we've seen sometimes they don't have the training, they don't have the skills needed sometimes to support folks. And our staff and the people that work there and the other residents and people that live there sometimes know how to be patient with people, and they can take the time to kind of talk with people and give them the space that they need and the thing that they need to process, I guess, what they're going through. And to, you know, we always say, like, if you want to like scream or yell, that's fine. You can go do it outside in the parking lot. You can do it, so as long as you're not harming somebody else or harming yourself. Like, try to give people space and check our own biases sometimes with like,
what's normal, right?
Yeah, what's normal, but also why am I uncomfortable here? Is that something that I have to process? You know, does this trigger me? Like if there's somebody yelling in my face sort of thing, does that trigger me? Or is that a response that I can change in myself? Or do I just need to exit from the situation and let them just like yell outside? I don't need to be here getting yelled at. I can just leave them and they can have their space. And
it's challenging work though, man.
We always, and also, but it's nice to just have the space to people. It can be rewarding. It's rewarding with people like you, but sometimes you get really frustrated when there's no housing for people, right? Yeah. Sometimes we have to ask people.
How many people have you housed since they just celebrated their year anniversary? 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year and 1 month now. Yeah. I don't know how many people we've housed. That's one of those things of like, we try to measure success based on what is good for people. So for people that move on from here and move into their own apartment, that is success, and we like to celebrate that. But going back to like the supports for people who are really, really struggling with their mental health is they're probably not going to be able to live independently in their own apartment, because sometimes people's mental health is so severe and there's no supports for those people. And so success for them would be just living with us for a couple of months and not going back out on the street, not being back in the parks, or sometimes just not having to call 911 and go to the emergency room for a mental health crisis. And that's what success looks like for some people.
What do you? I just want to question, like, is like the relationship between homelessness, mental health, and then drug and addictions. In the mental health world, they always call it mental health and addictions for a reason, because they're not only do they happen at the same time, but they're actually very closely linked in a lot of ways. So I was just wondering, from your experience, what do you think or feel is like the barrier that like a lot of shelters have, where there's rules obviously against drugs and alcohol? How do you guys sort of overcome that in order to give people options who might be using?
We like to look at everything from an individual approach. We have a couple rules, but we really try to like think about the context. And I think about safety really. Like if somebody's going to use drugs or come intoxicated, like is that harming anybody? And if we have rules that are going to prohibit them from coming to stay inside with us, are they just sleeping outside? And if that's going to cause harm to them,
Right.
well, as long as they're fine, we usually don't. We don't have any kind of rules around what you can use or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's also intertwined mental health and addiction, and yeah, sometimes the drugs. You're saying in the beginning, drugs can be a trigger for those things.
Yeah.
But there's so many people I've learned that use drugs to self-medicate, to cope.
Yes.
And they've got so many things going on, and because they haven't found another way that works, the drugs sometimes help their brain silence what's going on in their head. Right?
A lot of the time, I think that people are fiercely independent, and that they're like, well, I don't care if you have a shelter space for me because I'd rather go sleep on the bench or in a tent somewhere because that means I can do what I want.
Yep.
And so, like, the drugs and alcohol kind of fits into that equation, I guess. So I just think that that's a challenge that I don't know the answer to. I thought maybe just your thoughts on.
I think the answer is you just got to provide a range of support for people. Like some people prefer, other shelters, some shelters over other ones. Some people prefer where we're at, where you have your own room, but some people feel being in your own room and not exiting, like Anne was talking about, for weeks on end can be really bad for the health. So some people they want to be surrounded by more people. So I think the key is just not having a one-size-fits-all approach. You need to really tailor it to different people, and that's why there's different shelters and there's.
That's why bingo has been. That's why bingo has been such a success, because I saw people would meet me in the smoking area. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I was out in the smoking area, and they said, "I wish there was something to do. I'm so bored. I just wish there was something to do." So I started the bingo. And my best showing was 47, which is a quarter of the population showed up for bingo one night. So people got to talk to people, they got to get friendly with people, and they got to get out and do something like Monday night's bingo night.
It's more than a quarter of the population. It's like 30% almost, I'd say. But yeah, it's and we just got to provide all those different supports for people. And so many people have said, like, why don't we have these meetings? Why don't we have this program? Or why don't we have crafting and these things? And we're lucky to be able to work with people to do what they want to do in those things. Because, some people feel that social isolation in their hotel room that, if you're living outside or you're living in other shelters, you see people all the time. And that sucks for some people, but some people really like that. So, I don't know. It's like we talked about this forever, but I feel like
yeah, we do. So thanks so much. Yeah, do you mind if I? Thank you so much for coming and bringing in the karaoke stuff that we didn't need, but it was awesome to bring that.
Just in case.
We appreciate your viewpoint, man, and we have a couple of folks over here from Coverdale.
Roberta first.
Yes, and so you can introduce them.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thanks for coming.
I have to run because my car is.
I know all about
Halifax
that.
parking. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, indeed.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you.
All right.
I'd like to introduce Roberta Morrison from Coverdale. She's going to explain what she does for Coverdale and how important it is to get the help you need. Roberta?
So I will speak about a minute about how I met Anne, which was probably about 4.5 years ago, when she was living in a car, and the problems and the issues that she was dealing with around her mental health. And how we went to court and we struggled through all that.
Yeah, try this microphone. I'm up here.
Yeah, that's sort of a different kind of microphone.
You can
Right.
sit
If you don't mind, it might reach.
No, no.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay.
You want to sit?
I will.
She's tragically not.
Not wrong, I just had a different question.
There you go.
Wonderful.
That's my story. Was the first time I met Anne 4.5 years ago. She was living in her car, and she came to the and she said, "I need help with my job. I need help with my way." Through the car, we managed to get her into a place and out of the car. She wasn't someone happy, but twice because of people suffer from mental health days for very long. There's a mountain of issues that come along with that. And so we brought the intensive board to help with some other issues. And so I'm very great. And she's been here for a while now. She's in her own place. But for Anne, I take, when I see her with this type of accomplishment, to me, it's overwhelming. And I really am very, very proud of what she does. And she is so valuable. Point month, I think it's a great tribute to her personally. And I think that as it grows from her, she will do much better. Things will get bigger and better for her again. And then build up self-esteem and confidence as well. So Coverdale, what do we do? Coverdale is a organization around since 1953. We basically deal with incarcerated women who come out there that the first has to be that there's on certain conditions that must be met in order to be attended to court with the city probation officer or taking certain program of anger management, how to deal with harm reduction of that. We put on a number of programs that come together to address things. We also do a comprehensive coordination and take care of that board terms on time. There's a lot of folks who get, as you know, the service is not too bad. Most of them are obligated to by the court. We really want to make that and then we take the court and have that here. We have two homeowners in Dale, one is called Hapening Place, which is the first house we've done. It used to be a alehouse, but now it's more or less a residential place where people come in, get a place to go. We go, okay, it's basically a little older. And modern is dealing with the community, and in trouble, and we're doing up in the place to stay as well. So there's two homes, and then we have home office, where I deal with basically community. So I will liaison with a number of organizations that will, for example, have one place to do domestic violence, and women that go through that process, or with Black community, the Institute of Justice, they have an organization that deals with Black folks who live in the community, who deal with those folks as well. We do a lot to educate women on the rights that how to deal with the tragedy that they've gone through, and understand that potentially in trouble doesn't mean in the past stay in trouble. You're better ways to your life every day than having to say, okay, write the law is more than I know, and it's not. We try to educate folks on how to live a better in life. And a lot of them, the addiction, mental health is one of the two biggest things that come together at the moment. And we don't have enough mental health officers there to help us sort of, educate women on what the mental health is really all about. And so it's imperative, we need more educated mental health workers in the community. We also need to have places for them to go. And so if we could fix that through our government, it would be a great idea, but right now, the organization such as us to be able to be there and help them out. Addiction, we have 180, and we have courses that we do with our clients as well, to sort of help them get through the addiction process. And again, it's not an easy thing to do because most of them are severely addicted. Know that it's better than know anything else. And so it's trying to help them get through that. The bridge is a great place for that, but I have clients who stay for maybe 2 weeks and because their addiction is so good. My colleague is here, her name is Léveillé, and she is a second-year law student, and we want to put her input into something. I would like to do so.
McKinley? Thank you, Roberta.
Hi, so as Roberta sort of mentioned, my name is McKinley. I am moving on third year at the House University Schulich School of Law. And I started at Coverdale last summer through an internship where I was working with Roberta doing research, but then also for support work. And then I was fortunate enough to be able to stay on with Coverdale afterwards on a part-time basis while I was attending school. And then this summer I came back on full-time. So my role is called an Access to Justice Coordinator. But I think that's just a fancy word to say that I do lots of research on how to make justice more accessible to those who are vulnerable in the community. So as Roberta already mentioned, we work mostly with women and gender diverse people.
So those are the kind of people who are working or living in houses that are going to run services in Canada. And I was trying to do, she has over 70 clients that she serves in the communities herself. And then another one of our coworkers, Summer, also has 60 clients that she serves in the community. So Roberta has to easily be one of the busiest people I know. And my role, I guess, is to sort of help provide more of a legal lens for the problems that women and gender diverse people are facing. And I think a good way to tie it back into what we were sort of talking about before is that mental health challenges are a real pathway to the criminal justice system for women and gender diverse people specifically. Lots of the people that we work with have come in contact with the justice system, had access to supports maybe a little bit earlier. They wouldn't have faced the charges that they're now facing. Them is sort of liaise with their lawyers and to help provide them with information so that they understand the process and they know what to expect. But then also we can connect them to all of those legal supports like legal aid or with community supports if they're also struggling with housing and addiction.
Yep.
I don't know if there's anything else you would like me to talk about.
What is it that you like most about working with Roberta? Jesus.
I mean, what's not to like about working with Roberta? But I would say that it's really nice that I think Roberta and I have very different perspectives on things. Roberta's just a little bit older than me, so she can bring that context, and she's also
You just got a raise.
yeah. She's also African Nova Scotian, so I think that she has a little bit of a different perspective than I have. And she's also from here, whereas I am from Ontario. So I think that what I like is that she gives me the opportunity to voice my opinions, but then we also can have a dialogue where we have different perspectives on things, and we can offer different expertise, whereas I would say Roberta is more connected to the community. I can provide more of that legal background for some of the issues that we're facing, and I think that we make a really good team coming together to help address people's issues as quickly as we can.
Thank you so much, and good luck with your journey. So if there's any questions or anything, if anybody wants to add anything.
We have Steven still, right?
Oh.
About Coverdale.
No, Coverdale.
Okay, so about that. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to.
Is Steve there?
We have one more. I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
Okay, we're just trying to figure it out. Anybody that didn't get to file an auction in the house, if you'd like to put your money where your mouth is, put your money down, and it'll help people in this community. So we're just waiting for a few minutes.
Well, I mean, it's 3:30 now, so I can say something.
Okay, so while we are just waiting, we have another panel member who is actually a close friend of mine, and he is the man who introduced me to Anne, which was about 2 weeks ago, not even now. That would be Mr. Stephen Benton, wonderful guy. He, timing-wise, was a little funny because he'd been here since February and worked closely with Anne on a bunch of things, but unfortunately for us, but luckily for him, he just went back to Toronto, which was what he was trying to do for the past quite long time. But Stephen works for a financial company here well, it's a global company, but it's called Primerica. And that is here in Nova Scotia, in Dartmouth, they have an office. But what Stephen does, he does a lot of things, but his philosophy, I'll let him talk about it, but essentially he is trying to help people of different communities. Stephen is hard to miss the guy. He's about 6'6" and a former professional basketball player, so you can't miss him. But his community, of course, he's from Philadelphia, but he connects to the African community, African Canadian, and African American community, both here in Nova Scotia and abroad. He's just an amazing guy, and we're trying to get him on the Zoom. Hopefully, we can do so. Steve can hear me. I know he can. So the Bluetooth speaker is connected to my laptop, Steve Léveillé. If you are able to get Steve and if he's available, that would be wonderful. If not, we can certainly move things in a different direction.
We'll be getting Steve in shortly. We also have Paul Dawkins who will be coming as well.
Well, good. Why don't you, can
I'm
you get
just
on and
waiting
chat
for
with
Steve
Steve
to.
about some other stuff, maybe? Okay, we'll do that.
Well, actually, we'll probably wrap
All
it
right.
up.
So
Wait, but I
let's
just
see
wondering,
if Paul Dawkins is on the air.
No,
okay,
we'll do next time.
all right,
Sorry.
well, we'll get there. We'll work with the people who are here. I guess
Paul
only
is
one
on the
more
call.
time. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Paul is available. All right, so Paul, can you hear me
We're gonna
well?
do the draw for the door part.
So, okay.
Who'd like to
Paul, can you hear
draw?
me?
I'll let you.
Paul, can you hear me?
Okay, the winning ticket for Montana's
Paul, can you hear me?
steakhouse is 1015398. Yo, you got a winner.
Are you the winner?
Oh, my husband will love that.
Paul,
Steaks.
can
Steak
you
is
hear me?
steak. These days, it's like gold.
Hello, can you hear me, Paul?
All right.
Paul, can you hear me? Paul, can you hear me? Paul, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. When he started asking if Steve could come in, I was saying to him, yes, he could, but I don't know why it seems that their sound is not wanting to come. So that's definitely something that I will have to verify with them, because as we have people that are coming in the studio and leaving, we we really have to be able to connect. At the beginning, they were listening to me, but Steve was waiting on the line. You've been waiting there. I told Joe you were there, and it's like, oh no, we're not hearing anymore. It's a little bit annoying. I'm gonna try to reach Joe, and I'll say to him, you're waiting. because you came in studio and I want you to come. So I'll let Joe know. Esse volta lá.
One, two, three, four. Stare up at the moon and see the sky. And I try to talk to God, but I get no reply. Dreaming sea of reality surrounds me. All alone, the sun suburbs beneath my feet. All alone, the sun suburbs beneath my feet. Even in the darkest hour of midnight, world interferes with my eyesight. A strange sense of faith, oh, that I found. Feet on the ground as we go round and round and round, round and round, round in our heads. We all go round and round and round, round and round. It's in our heads, it's in our heads, it's in my. I never tried to take this life for granted. No, sure to someday revive the seed that I planted. The sun would only shine on me for a while. Glad it's still come for all the rainy days of the night. Glad it's still come for those rainy days for a while. Even in our darkest hour of midnight, everything's wrong and nothing seems right. A strange sense of faith, oh, that I have found. My feet on the ground as we go round and round and round, round and round, round in our heads. We all go round and round, round. It's in our heads, it's in our heads, it's in my. Stare up at that moonlit super sky, and yet you're trying to talk to God, but you get no reply. I cry a lot, it's a cycle, it takes time to repeat. All along the sun still burns your feet. I cry a lot, it's a cycle, it takes time to repeat. Well, that's it for the musical portion. I'm going to pass it back over to Miss Edwards for Annabelle. Ooh, I like it. There you go, Annabelle. Joabelle? Okay, sure.
Well, how was that, you guys? I was saying another round of applause for Joe. Joe, thank you very much for all you've done. And I've known in less than 2 weeks, and I feel like I've known him all my life.
You need a hug.
We'll hug later. Also, I'd like to extend my deep, warmest condolences to Meredith Cox. Her grandfather is dying in the hospital, so she couldn't come today. And I said, that's quite an excuse. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
It is a good excuse.
It is a very good excuse. But the people that are here, Roberta and her cohort, and especially like to thank Liz Green Ingram for letting us set up again. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Maybe you'll get your silent auction item that you want, Liz. She was stalking the silent auction earlier, seeing if anybody was going to be there. Then her brother's here, and he's doing the same thing. So I guess I'll have to do another silent auction. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Liz, once again, thank you for letting us have this space. And I'd like to thank all of my guests for coming. And we're going to just tally up the silent auction, and then everybody's free to go. Thank you very much.
Hey, they left. 20 minutes to swear. That's good.
Yay, we're not done yet.
Oh, no, we're not done. Oh, you did actually record it? Yeah, I think it's okay, so I was like, sure, because I was using trying to use the laptop to do it. Yeah. I was like, hold the left turn. Use that. Well, I got it. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. I'm glad we got everything done early. Perfect. Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Cool, brother.
Yeah. Put an open on it. Awesome.
Yeah, I think we do it ourselves.
I'll ask the
Yeah, he's already he has the that's what I told him laptop was. They were doing the same because the webcams and sketches.
He's gonna collect your ones that don't need them. Okay, perfect.
I'll just throw some
Oh, Juanita Bates. Who's Juanita Bates? You outbid Liz for Pleasant Street Diner by 10.
By 10? I don't know.
Who's
I'm
got
trying
it?
to like sneak a little low ball.
Pleasant Street Diner.
I was looking at
Golf is right at the golf is right here.
it's only the course is far away.
Greenwood. Yeah, that's up past Exhibition Park, so it's not too far.
We'll see.
No, you can take it. Just call them before you're done.
Yeah.
I just did this.
is funny because so like forwardly that been on this thing.
Yeah, you can do it on.
You know, like Facebook pages. Yeah, yeah. So like, why don't we save the ones that weren't bid on and I'll start a Facebook
That's
page?
what I'm collecting them all.
Yeah, and if you want to do a Facebook page anyway, I just do want to be before the people that really listen to you.
Yeah.
Then that way people can bid on them that way. So we can still raise, still raise money. Right? Good idea. All right, we'll do that. Oh, and Liz, one question. Are we in a, like, we still have, are we in a,
Chill for a second.
yeah. That went really well though. I think it's like, I would
So who's this? That's Siobhan, that's one of my staff. But was this your girl up here from,
No, she didn't bid on that. We'll have to give it to this person.
is this person not here? Now, this is your Delaware.
Yes,
Isn't this the girl that's on the girl that's on?
yes,
Yes.
from the housing.
Who's you bid on? That's you? Okay. Okay. So those
All
three
right,
are,
so
these ones are Anita's.
so it sounds like the show in Halifax is done. We're sorry, it seems that we've been having communication problems with Halifax. So Paul Dawkins, along with Steve Benton, will be coming on the next show on What Do You Think? Thank you very much for